Your brain was built for survival in a very different world. These 5 thinkers reveal the hidden patterns keeping you from the life you want and what to do about them.
I know many people at the senior-most levels of organizations who are absolutely not leaders. They are authorities, and we do what they say because they have authority over us, but we would not follow them. And I know many people who are at the bottoms of organizations who have no authority, and they are absolutely leaders. And this is because they have chosen to look after the person to the left of them, and they have chosen to look after the person to the right of them. This is what a leader. I heard a story of some Marines who were out in theater, and as is the Marine custom, the officer ate last, and he let his men eat first. And when they were done, there was no food left for him. And when they went back out in the field, his men brought him some of their food so that he may eat. Because that's what happens. We call them leaders because they go first. We call them leaders because they take the risk before anybody else does. We call them leaders because they will choose to sacrifice so that their people may be safe and protected and so their people may gain. And when we do, the natural response is that our people will sacrifice for us. They will give us their blood and sweat and tears to see that their leader's vision comes to life. And when we ask them, why would you do that? Why would you give your blood and sweat and tears for that person? They all say the same thing, because they would have done it for me.
Talent doesn't make you gritty. Our data show very clearly that there are many talented individuals who simply do not follow through on their commitments. In fact, in our data, grit is usually unrelated or even inversely related to measures of talent. So far, the best idea I've heard about building grit in kids is something called growth mindset. This is an idea developed at Stanford University by Carol Dweck, and it is the belief that the ability to learn is not fixed, that it can change with your effort. Dr. Dweck has shown that when kids read and learn about the brain and how it changes and grows in response to challenge, they're much more likely to persevere when they fail, because they don't believe that failure is a permanent condition. So growth mindset is a great idea for building grit.
How can people avoid cynicism and pessimism within themselves?
Yeah, cynicism and pessimism is a tough one. We're naturally hardwired for it. Modern society is very different. Despite whatever problems you may have with modern society, it is far, far safer than living in the jungle and just trying to survive. And the opportunities and the upside are nonlinear. For example, when you're investing, if you short a stock, the most money you can make is 2x. You just lose, if the stock goes to 0, you double your money. But if the stock is the next NVIDIA and it goes 100x or 1000x, you make a lot of money. So upside, because of leverage, is nearly unlimited. Also in modern society, because there's so many different people you can interact with, if you go on a date and it fails, there are infinite more people to go on a date with. In a tribal system, there might have been 20 people and you can't even get through all of them. So modern society is far more forgiving of failure, and you just have to sort of neocortically realize and override that. You have to realize that you're much more running a search function to find the thing that'll work, and then that one thing will pay off in massive compounding.
The brain is constantly monitoring out, like, our stress levels. There's a hormone called cortisol.
Yeah.
When that's high all the time, the body literally goes into survival mode. And I just feel like that's how so many of us, if not all of us, are at the moment.
Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like everybody's in survival mode. It feels like, why are we like this right now? What's going on? Is it really happening that people are more stressed? Or is there just so much more awareness around it that we're also taking it on as like a placebo type of thing?
I really don't agree with the latter, because remember, I've been a psychiatrist for 7 years before I even started coaching in this field. So, there were reasons for people to be stressed and us to know about it for a long time. I think what's really changed, at the start of the pandemic, I actually predicted this was going to be a mental health crisis. I also said it could be an opportunity for some kind of spiritual revolution. And I think that's happening for some people. People who are deep into that are really kind of getting a lot out of it. But for most people, the pandemic happened, we came out of it and we thought, okay, everything will just go back to normal. But actually, everyone's social circle shrank. We're more lost, lonely, and disconnected than I think ever before in the history of humanity.
So the first lesson of getting out of poverty is 2 words. It's my fault. It's I have to own that. And I think my fault you can kind of extrapolate to right now. Not like you basically have to own everything that passed to this moment. So all the pain that I've gone through, all of the Mondays that I've missed, all of the diets that I've skipped, all of the savings I haven't made, all of those are not my dad's fault, my mom's fault, my circumstances' fault, the country I was born in's fault, the zip code, any of those things' fault. It's just mine. And the thing is that people have this belief that because they have a strong argument for why it's something or someone else's fault, that somehow helps them. And it just doesn't.